y'all. The Oscar nominations are tomorrow, and I thought, what a better way to celebrate than put in my nominations for the categories right before they announce them tomorrow, guys. I mean, hey, I figure might as well get my takes in and get a couple hot takes in there too, y'all, because I got some hot stuff. I got some hot stuff for ya. But y'all, I'm excited to talk about it. Welcome in if you're new. My name's Leo Rydell. This is Geekly Goods, and if you're new to the channel, go ahead and hook your boy up with that HBO special. Y'all know what that is? It's a Help a Brother Out special. Hit that subscribe button, ding that bell, and hit like on this video for videos on the latest in movies, TV, with a little sprinkle of anime and gaming in there as well. Y'all, today we're here to talk about Oscar nomination predictions. I can't wait. Let's dive in, guys, starting with our first category. Starting with makeup and hairstyling, and my predictions for that category are Cruella, Dune, House of Gucci, The Eyes of Tammy Faye, and Coming to America. A lot of those were actually nominated by the Hairstylists and Makeup Guild, so I thought, hey, that's a pretty surefire way of probably getting these into the Oscars as well. And then my two hot takes for that, y'all, are the Suicide Squad and West Side Story, because Suicide Squad, the first one, got nominated and won the award. So I figured, hey, the Suicide Squad will make its way in too. Let's go to our next category with costume design, which I'm predicting Cruella, Dune, House of Gucci, West Side Story, and Nightmare Alley. The Costume Design Guild actually nominated a lot of these choices, and then I had a couple hot takes with Cyrano and Coming to America. Next up, moving on to production design, I have Nightmare Alley, Belfast, Dune, West Side Story, and Cyrano. The BAFTAs nominated a few of these on my list, but I just thought Belfast had a really good production design. I think it might be on the list as well. But some hot takes I have for that one are Cruella and Last Night in Soho. I think Last Night in Soho might creep its way into one of these categories. If not this one, I have it as a hot take on another one too. I actually think I have it listed as a prediction, so let's keep it moving. Next up, we're going to documentary with Procession, Summer of Soul, Ascension, The Rescue, and Flee. Those are the only ones I'm really hearing a lot of buzz about, and honestly, I haven't watched all the ones on that list. I would say this is the weakest category of mine, so no hot takes on this one. Let's move on to international feature with Drive My Car, A Hero, The Worst Person in the World, The Hand of God, and Flee. Yeah, I've got Flee in 3 categories here, and I think it could easily take the W in at least one of the 3. I have it in another one. We'll get to that later. But my hot take in this international feature is Lamb, guys. I think maybe Lamb could potentially creep its way in there. Maybe even Teton. Guys, I would love to see a surprise in this category. Moving on to our next category with film editing. And I've got The Power of the Dog, Dune, Belfast, King Richard, and No Time to Die, which is the nomination list for the American Cinema Editors. I figured that this is a surefire list. These seem like the best edited movies, but I do have a couple hot takes with Spider-Man No Way Home as one of them, and Tick Tick Boom along with Don't Look Up. Now let's get to our next category with visual effects. I've got Godzilla vs. Kong. Come on, baby. Easily. The Visual Effects Society nominated them. I think they're getting on the list. The Matrix Resurrections, Dune, No Time to Die, and Shang-Chi. Now, I do have a couple of hot takes on this one, and one of them being Spider-Man No Way Home, guys. I just think that it's going to creep its way into one of these categories. Come on, No Way Home's got to get recognized for something, right? And I also think Free Guy has some potential here as well, as it's mostly a CGI movie, and it did pretty well. It was a pretty good movie. I think that it's primarily CGI like Godzilla vs. Kong, so I think it's got a little bit of a chance. But hey, hot take, hot take. Let's get to the next one. Next up is cinematography with Dune, The Power of the Dog, Tragedy of Macbeth, Nightmare Alley, and Belfast. And a couple hot takes, No Time to Die, and West Side Story. And one of the biggest strengths that I thought West Side Story had was cinematography. Next up, I've got sound with West Side Story, No Time to Die, Dune, Last Night in Soho, and A Quiet Place Part 2. Now, Last Night in Soho and A Quiet Place Part 2 were nominated by the BAFTAs. I think they actually have a chance of getting in, especially Last Night in Soho. I think this might be the only category I have it like for sure in my predictions. A couple of hot takes in this category, y'all. I've got Spider-Man No Way Home. Yes, you're gonna see that a lot throughout here because I think it's gotta get in somewhere. If not these technical categories, maybe something even bigger. But let's continue with score. I've got Dune, The Power of the Dog, Encanto, Don't Look Up, and No Time to Die. A lot of these were nominated for either Golden Globes or BAFTA, so I think they can make their way in this category. Next up, I've got Original Song with No Time to Die, Be Alive, Don't Look Up, Dos Oruguitas, and Guns Go Bang. Let's go on to our next category with animated feature, guys. Ooh, and let's talk about this one, because I feel like some recency bias is going to knock poor Raya and the Last Dragon off the list. But on this list, I've got Encanto, Luca, Flea, The Mitchells vs. the Machines, and Sing 2. Now, Sing 2 might be a little bit of a hot take as well, but I know that it got a PGA nom. There were tons of VFX Society nominations for this, so I think Sing 2 could potentially creep its way in. Like I said, poor Raya and the Last Dragon is probably a product of recency bias. I do think that it is a hot take to consider that it could potentially get in there. And my other hot take is Belle. If enough of the Academy voters saw Belle, I think it could creep its way in. It's a beautiful story, has a lot to say with the Beauty and the Beast style story in a modern setting. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Hopefully, this could be the first anime film that's not a Studio Ghibli film to get nominated. Let's move on. We're getting a screenplay, guys, starting with adapted. I've got The Power of the Dog, The Lost Daughter, Dune, Coda, and Passing. Now look, Coda was nominated at the BAFTAs. I know it didn't have the WGA nomination, but hey, I think that it's possible that it can make its way on this list. And a couple of hot takes I've got are West Side Story and Tragedy of Macbeth. Now, Macbeth might actually make its way on the list. I mean, I feel like a Shakespearean written movie should make its way on the list, right? So maybe that's not such a hot take. Let's go on to original screenplay with Belfast, Licorice Pizza, Don't Look Up, Being the Ricardos, and King Richard. Had a lot of BAFTA and Golden Globe nominations on this list, as well as some WGA as well, and I definitely didn't have a hot take on this one. I mean, look, I figured that's the list, at least I think. Let me know down in the comments, though, your thoughts as well. And moving on to the acting categories, guys, starting with supporting actor, I've got Cody Smith-McPhee, Troy Kotsur, Ciarán Hinds, Jared Leto, and Jesse Plemons. Now, I think Jesse and Cody Smith will both get nominated for their performances in The Power of the Dog. I think a hot take I have is Bradley Cooper could creep his way in there. I definitely think Jared Leto's on the list. And maybe, just maybe, Robin De Jesus will make it into the category. But that's a hot take. I just think that another hot take I've got, I liked him a little more than Andrew. But I digress. I know that's a hot take, guys. Let's move on to supporting actress. In this one, I have no hot takes. I think it's Ruth Negga, Kirsten Dunst, Ariana DeBose, Catriona Balfe, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, and Anjanou Ellis. I don't have any hot takes for this one. I think they all really put in significant work into their roles, and they were all incredible, and I just think they're probably the most talked about and the most stacked list. So let's move on to our main lead category, starting with lead actor, and I'm going with Will Smith, Benedict Cumberbatch, Denzel Washington, Andrew Garfield, and Leonardo DiCaprio. I had these picks locked in months ago. Honestly, this has not changed for me. I think that they are leading the pack. Now, there could be a sneak up, like a couple of hot takes I've got, Mahershala Ali and Peter Dinklage, but I think the five I named have a good chance. Let's move on to lead actress, starting with Lady Gaga. Penelope Cruz, I think, will make her way into it as well. Nicole Kidman, Olivia Colman, and Alana Haim. Now, some hot takes I've got, and this shouldn't even be a hot take, but Kristen Stewart, she should have been in this category. She got voted in by a ton of critic awards to be in this category, and unfortunately, she's probably just not gonna make it. And my other hot take there is Rachel Zegler. Lots of buzz about her after West Side Story, and I'm pretty sure she won the Golden Globe, so I think that she could potentially sneak her way into getting a nomination. Now, let's move into director, guys. Starting with Jane Campion, Denis Villeneuve, Adam McKay, and Steven Spielberg, and I think Kenneth Branagh as well. Some hot takes I have are Maggie Gyllenhaal and maybe even Lin-Manuel Miranda. He's been involved in so much, and Tick Tick Boom was such a great directorial debut. I don't know if he'll make it in, but it's one of my hot takes, y'all. That's something I think that he could potentially slide his way in there. And last but not least, coming in the best picture, guys. Let's talk about this one. I've got The Power of the Dog, Belfast, Dune, Licorice Pizza, West Side Story, Coda, King Richard, and Don't Look Up. And if they decide to use 10 slots, I'm going Being the Ricardos and Nightmare Alley. Now, I've got two very hot takes for this one. And my hot takes, drum roll please, are Spider-Man No Way Home and House of Gucci. Now, the reason why I've got Spider-Man No Way Home on this list is because I think it's very possible that the Academy will want to nominate Spider-Man No Way Home to bring more viewership. Something that will get more eyeballs on their program because they're going down every single year. So I think that that's possible to give it a little bit of a boost this year and nominate Spider-Man No Way Home. And then House of Gucci is getting so much talk. I mean, I think Lady Gaga's a shoo-in in lead actress nomination. I think that Jared Leto is going to get a supporting actor nomination. I think a lot of people like the movie more than we thought. I think it's the worst Ridley Scott movie of last year, but hey, all opinions here, right? Guys, let me know your thoughts down in the comments. What did you think about my predictions? This is actually my first year doing more Oscar investigating and research and watching all the movies, and it's actually my first year like doing a deep dive. I usually watch them every year, but I enjoyed doing a little bit of a prediction, you know, kind of getting some ideas and thoughts out there. But you guys let me know your predictions down in the comments. How do you think I did? Do you think I was a little rough? Because, woo, it was a little rough doing all this research, but I really liked making the video for you guys. Y'all let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and if you're new to the channel, hook your boy up with that HBO special and hit that subscribe button, and we will see you next time on Geekly Goods.